Hi everyone, I'm Natalie and I'm one of the co-founders of a startup called Forkful. And we're a husband and wife co-founding team at Forkful, and our journey started about 3 years ago. And this is when we became parents. And it was really through this experience, that fear and joy of becoming parents, that we stopped and looked at how we were living as a society. We have extensive hospitality and sales experience, combined with significant operational capability. We're insanely passionate about creating a more sustainable society, not just for our kids, but for all future generations. And in our local economies, we know that households are the biggest wasters of food, followed by manufacturers and the food service sector, and that's our focus. In this space, just in Australia, millions of meals worth billions of dollars are wasted every year. So let's talk about that. Annually, our food service sector wastes about 666 million meals. Or more locally, I want you to think about it as your local cafe, restaurant or bakery throwing out over 14,000 meals each. And environmentally, by throwing this food in the bin and sending it to landfill, has the same impact as an additional 5 million cars on our road. And financially, our industry is throwing $4.7 billion worth of meals in the bin. And here at Forkful, we focus on minimising waste in the consumption space. Forkful is a digital platform for hospitality venues and food retailers to sell their surplus, unsold food to consumers. Forkful handles the transaction and the food is collected from the venue as takeaway. Now, it takes about 60 seconds for a venue to get set up on Forkful and less than 15 seconds to sell. So it's literally quicker than throwing food away. We know Forkful is a win-win-win for everyone. For our venues, we give them an opportunity to boost their corporate social responsibility, generate increased revenue, and finally, we expose them to new and returning customers. And for consumers, 10 minutes earlier, the food they were enjoying went for full price. We help people save food and feel good about it. And we've created a seamless and easy to navigate platform for consumers to search by geographic location or cuisine. And through our early customer interviews, we identified that venues were tired of platforms eating into their bottom dollar. So we've purposely built a business model where the venue doesn't pay and isn't out of pocket. So instead, we mark up the price of each item sold, meaning the venue, our customer, gets the price they want. The consumer receives a discount and we make money. We've studied local and overseas models and we've tried them and interviewed users. And current and previous competitor models in the Australian landscape were and are built around this mystery box concept, where the consumer doesn't know what they're buying. And we believe this is a real detraction and growth inhibitor, and we really want our customers to know what they're getting every single time. And as they say at Nike, find something everyone else is doing and do it better, and that's exactly what we're doing at Forkful. In as little as 6 years globally, over 180 million meals have been saved using platforms like Forkful, with a combined global funding of over $500 million. We've experienced some great traction to date, with 20 venues signing up to our trial and over 180 customer accounts created. And that is people that are ready to start using Forkful when we launch. And we're currently about a quarter way through phase 1 of our trial. And our strategy is to work through different customer acquisition models so that we have a repeatable model for when we expand into other municipalities. And partnerships are a key part of our strategy. We recognise that they're going to play a key role in our growth and scalability. So we've started some early discussions with a number of key industry stakeholders with a view to engage with quite a number of others. And these partnerships are going to open the door for us to acquire a large number of venues with very little manpower. When we look at our total addressable market, it's made up of that $4.7 billion of waste meals that I touched on earlier. But I want to talk about our service attainable market. And within 12 months operations, we believe this will be represented by Forkful helping 2,000 venues save between 10 to 20 meals a week. Now, it's important to keep in mind this is a volume-based business. So with just 2,000 venues, that's less than 1% of the market share, selling 10 meals a week, we're looking at $1 million in revenue. And we've based our phased progress and scale by looking at overseas models. And our scale is focused on getting that hyper-local go-to-market strategy down pat and replicating that. We know the great sustainability transition is well underway. And to get to our initial 2,000 venues so that we can use that as a catalyst to grow this business, we'll soon open our capital raising round where we're seeking investment of $500,000. My ask today is if you'd like to know more about how you can get involved, please get in contact. Thank you very much.
1/3 of the food produced in the world is never consumed. When you stop to think about that number, it's clear to see that our food system is broken. Hi, I'm Nick Stamatillo, CEO and co-founder of Whole, and we make smart processing tech that eliminates waste by producing highly nutritious whole food ingredients. If you look at food production for the last 200 years, it's easy to see just how much waste there is, whether it be energy, water, or even nutrition. It starts with ingredient manufacturers who take wholesome raw inputs and use huge amounts of energy and water to create a range of specialized ingredients, only to pass them on to food manufacturers who recombine them to make the foods that we like to eat. This didn't make a lot of sense to us, so we've developed a unique processing technology that eliminates waste by using the entire input to create highly functional ingredients and flavors. We call this technology WINX, a whole ingredient nutrient extraction process. WINX is an inline processing technology that delivers a new class of plant-based ingredient and changes the way that we think about food production. For ingredient manufacturers, it enables them to create either highly functional whole food ingredients or cost-effective precursor materials, both of which significantly reduce waste and energy use. For food manufacturers, the tech enables a wide range of genuine label claims for plant-based foods, from zero waste all the way through to enhanced prebiotic effects and nutrition. With consumers increasingly demanding clean labels and supply chain transparency, the WINX technology is also addressing an emerging supply chain bottleneck for healthy ingredients. With around 25% of produce never leaving the farm, our early focus is on the upstream waste that occurs between farms and ingredient manufacturers. Within this segment, we are targeting fruit and vegetables and cereals and legumes as the high-value waste areas in this growing products from waste market. What makes WINX so disruptive is that it approaches ingredient manufacturing and processing in a completely new way, focusing on creating whole food ingredients without waste. The WINX technology is also chemical-free, energy efficient, and input agnostic, making it highly attractive to ingredient manufacturers from both a CapEx and OpEx perspective. It's also a proprietary technology, and by securing the underlying IP, we've unlocked a unique licensing business model that will enable us to scale rapidly. While there are definitely other competitors in the space, we believe that we're uniquely positioned to take advantage of the rapid growth that's starting to occur. Looking at the value chain for food production, there have been significant investments at both ends of the spectrum, namely food manufacturing and precision ag, but very little in the middle, where the real bottleneck is starting to emerge. More importantly, the competitors in this ingredient processing segment are mostly large and well-established, meaning that they're slow and very resistant to change. Our tech is not only disruptive, but it directly addresses changing consumer preferences and enables food manufacturers to service those needs. As you can see, we've engaged with many different groups in the lead up to commercialization. Early this year, we'll be undertaking 4 paid trials of our tech, focusing primarily on high protein inputs and a range of applications for upcycling waste produce. We're collaborating with the CSIRO to conduct a range of nutritional studies on our ingredients. We also have 2 major universities engaging with us on research projects relating to eliminating allergens and enhancing flavors using our tech. And for a bit of blue sky, we've also proven that we can achieve transdermal penetration of our ingredients for cosmeceutical applications. Great things rarely happen by accident. They take great teams with a vision and a proven track record. And that's exactly what we've been able to assemble. Ivan Gustavino is a seasoned tech entrepreneur and M&A expert. He sits on the board of 2 ASX listed companies, including one as chair. Cedric Cross is our technical co-founder who spent the last 45 years in the food processing industry creating novel technologies. Philippe, who recently joined us as our CTO, has spent over 15 years working in projects across the globe and has particular expertise in food upcycling. Myself, I'm an IP and commercialization expert, and prior to starting Whole, I used to head up Deloitte's IP strategy team across Asia-Pac. Most importantly for us as founders, our tech has the ability to do good in the world and really help those in need. Not only does it have an immediate and measurable impact on greenhouse gas emissions, but it directly addresses the issue of waste and enables more equitable food distribution. By massively extending shelf life and enabling processing of locally grown ingredients, we see a future where our tech is not only feeding the people of the world, but allowing them to lead healthier lives, regardless of their social standing. To accelerate the commercialization of the Winx technology, we're currently raising $2 million from courageous investors that support our vision to eliminate waste and create more nutritious foods, and especially those that can continue to support us on our journey as we scale. Thank you for the opportunity to pitch today.
Hi, I'm Shura. I'm the founder of Food Remedy Co. I'm also a Chinese medicine practitioner with over 2 decades of clinical experience. A large part of my work as a practitioner is educating patients on the pillars of health and the benefits of a diet full of nutrient-dense plant-based whole foods. I teach patients how to incorporate more whole foods into their diet and how to eat seasonally. Retail research shows that consumers are paying more attention to their health, particularly since COVID, and they're looking to retailers to provide more and more information about the properties and qualities of the food that they're selling, particularly around how they're beneficial. Over the last year, I've developed Food Remedy Co. as a digital solution that enables businesses selling whole foods to educate their customers, as a strategy to increase whole food consumption, to add value to the customer experience, and to prevent food loss and food waste, which accounts for an incredible 34% of Australia's food waste. In Europe, Africa, the USA, and here in Australia, large enterprises such as Tesco and Woolworths are already investing in this space, providing digital tools that give their customers more and more food information. These businesses use a software company called Spoon Guru, and in 2020, W23, the VC fund of Woolworths Australia, invested $4 million in them, using their software to tag packaged foods with health and sustainability attributes as a strategy to increase customer loyalty and support lasting behavioural change. When we look at the grocery market in Australia, we know it is dominated by Woolworths, Coles and Aldi. But there is still a segment of $21 billion, which includes smaller food businesses, like other supermarkets, independent grocery stores, and niche businesses, such as the Smiths Organics, a company in Melbourne providing organic fruit, vegetables, and dried whole foods throughout Victoria as a home delivery service to their customers. The dilemma for small food businesses is that they not only need to provide information, but they also need to compete with enterprise businesses. The problem they have is communicating the benefits and value of the whole food produce they sell is clunky and time consuming, and it actually requires a lot of effort to make it appealing. They persist with the pain points because they place a high value on this information, because customers ask for it and engage with it. But there's a lack of digital tools to make this an easy and affordable process for them. At the moment, I'm helping the Smiths Organics communicate the value of the whole foods they sell by creating a no-code web app for their customers, showing the properties, attributes, benefits and storage tips for their fruit and vegetables. It's to add value to the customer experience and to prevent food loss and food waste in the home. Other businesses I've spoken to who also deliver whole food boxes want the same service, and they've said that they're happy to pay for it too. I'm also building an app for my community, the Surf Coast in Victoria, highlighting the benefits of whole foods grown and sold locally, with tagging and icons showing produce attributes such as seasonality, sustainability, and farming methods. The vision of Food Remedy Co. is to create an affordable digital solution that aggregates all the details of whole foods and makes it easy for small food businesses to find and transfer the information they need to create authentic and inspiring content and guidance for their customers. The future for Food Remedy Co. is moving on from our no-code apps and from our custom-built database to a cloud API, software as a service, business-to-business operation. We would launch nationally in 2023 and look to expand to other markets, including internationally in 2025. Our target for acquisition is 250 businesses for $60,000 revenue in our first year of operation. It's a very conservative and achievable goal given the value of the produce sold through Australian wholesale markets is around $7 billion. Our business model here is based on insights gathered from our surveys of e-commerce platforms selling whole foods. It has a tiered structure beginning with a free 30-day trial and reflects a comfortable spend of around $20 per month that businesses have told us that they would happily accept to convert from in-house digital marketing. To enable the build of the API, Food Remedy Co is seeking a small initial investment of $90,000, and this will be used to accelerate our bootstrapping phase as a step towards future seed funding for our anticipated growth. So my ask today is for introductions to suitable investors who support the mission and vision of Food Remedy Co and want to be part of the evolution of whole food data. And if you'd like to take a look at our Surf Coast MVP, you can scan the code on the screen there. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Shamira.
And I'm Michelle.
Together, we are the co-founder of Soyful, and we are here on a mission to nourish you responsibly for your health and the planet. Soyful does this by transforming Australia's source okara to flour and dietary-friendly cake and brownie mixes. We want to see sustainable, dietary inclusive, and easy-to-make mixes on the market. There were too many days where we spent hours in the kitchen trying to bake something inclusive for our guests at the gathering. We want to change that. We want to make baking easier for you and everyone, and let you know that we can help the world and the planet simply by eating. So what is okara? Okara is the Japanese term for soybean pulp. It is a byproduct of soy milk and tofu production. At home, you will soak the soybean, blend it with water, and leave it to boil. In the final step, the mixture will be strained so the soy milk will be silky smooth. During this process, okara is left over in the strainer. It is the solid mass of the soybean. Okara is very nutritious as it is high in fiber, rich in protein, low in glycemic index, gluten-free, and is dietary friendly. In Asia, okara is part of our staple dishes, but in Australia, it is overlooked. We interviewed 7 Victorian tofu manufacturers for our preliminary market research, and in total, they produce roughly 12 tons of okara each week. This is a pain point for suppliers, as some of them know the value of okara, but they just don't have the capacity to do anything with it. They are left to give it away for animal feed or pay waste service for compost and landfill disposal. And this is where Soyful comes in.
We see the potential in turning okara into specialty flours and as baking mixes. In Australia, the baking mix market is worth $16.6 million. For Soyful, we aim to capture the dietary inclusive baking mix market in Victoria first, which represents 5% of that $16.6 million as part of the serviceable addressable market. Our baking mixes and flour shows promise as there is a trend within Australia for the increasing demand for dietary inclusive goods. And for the vegan market, this represents a 9.6% increase from 2020 to 2025. And with the gluten-free market, there will be a 7.8% increase. While we are the first in Australia to be offering Australian okara flour and okara baking mixes, the flour is not an uncharted territory. Okara flour is highly popular in Japan, with some claiming it as a superfood and often incorporated into smoothies and soups. And in America, Renewal Mill is a leader of okara flour as a B2B and B2C business with national distribution channels. It has also raised over $2.5 million in funding since 2016. To ensure Soyful's growth, we have 2 asks today. First, we would like help with conducting a more thorough market research. We want to look at the national okara waste volume to see what our potential impact could be. This means access to marketing information behind paywalls or connecting with researchers familiar with the okara output. Secondly, We are currently collecting Australian biodynamic Acara for free and undergoing small batch dehydration as part of our product development stage. While we have been doing this in commercial kitchens, we need further funding and R&D to expand our outreach. This will allow us to refine our product, conduct food and safety quality tests, along with nutritional analysis tests, and hire technology and machinery.
Here are the face behind Soyful. We are the joyful creators. They trust us, we trust us, so you should too. Together, me and Michelle have a unique blend of skills, knowledge, and background. I am Shamira. I am the analytical brain of our team, and Michelle is the operation powerhouse. Our background consists of food science, environmental chemistry, marketing, circular economy, economic and finance, agriculture, food sustainability, and hospitality. Most importantly, our personalities complement each other very well. Thank you so much.
Hi, I am Esther Vallejo. I am the founder of WowDad. At WowDad, we are innovating how we eat fruit and vegetables whilst on a mission to tackle food waste. My background is in fitness coaching with a bachelor in marketing and currently completing my Master's of Entrepreneurship studies at Melbourne Uni. As a parent, I ask, who hasn't struggled daily to get their kids to eat fruit and vegetables? I know I do. Alarmingly, 95% of children and adults, for that matter, in Australia are not eating the recommended daily intake of fruit and vegetables. This is the reality of our busy lives. Our diets are saturated with fast food filled with sugar and preservatives, which can lead to chronic disease in adults and behavioral issues in children. Research shows that inadequate fruit and vegetable intake is costing the nation $232 million a year. And sadly, up to 25% of all fruit and vegetables produced don't leave the farm, with carrots alone costing farmers $60 million a year. Our vision is to innovate how fruit and vegetables are eaten by using imperfect, seasonal produce picked at the ripeness for nutrition and flavor, then drying whilst it's still fresh, this way reducing landfill. The process we use is similar to how NASA develops food for astronauts, retaining minerals, protein, vitamins, and other essential nutrients lost in the so-called healthy drinks. Then the blend is mixed with water, and 1 scoop equals 2.5 serves of fruit and vegetables, or you can add it to your cooking or sprinkle it over yogurt or cereals. We are at an early stage of research and development. Our kids and their friends are loving the tastings. Our point of difference is our clean label. We are using 100% natural fruit and vegetable powders. That's it. In recent years, there has been a shift in awareness about healthy eating, and research shows growing demand for products like ours in the market. The initial range consists of 6 flavors of a blend of fruit and vegetable powders, all delivered through our specially designed reusable shaker. Kids are drinking without knowing it's good for them. Over 4 months, we did several online surveys. We received 84 responses from parents, where 98% of the parents said, we need help. And then we also conducted 35 face-to-face in-depth interviews with parents and school teachers. And what we found is universally, it's challenging for parents to pack nutritious, interesting lunchboxes for their kids. And teachers reported children throwing out their fruit after only a couple of bites. For our product, we have 3 milestones. The first one is we are working with Target Food Consulting to utilize their expertise in recipe development and doing initial testing with family and friends. Our second milestone is market research trials and package development. Then the third one is to research manufacturing processes. And by November, be ready to launch at markets, online, and bulk purchases. Our target market are busy parents buying for their kids, then expanding to the health sector. We are looking at aged care because last year, a Royal Commission found that 50% of the elderly residents suffer from malnutrition, and many suffer from debilitating conditions where they cannot eat solid foods. So WowDad is ideal. The total addressable market of school-aged children 5 to 12 in Australia is 2.2 million. And to reach our consumers, our business model is an e-commerce platform. We'll be offering a convenient subscription model that builds relationships and ensures recurring revenue. We plan to set up markets to gain feedback by engaging directly with our consumers and also supply specialized stores. And in addition, we are looking at aged care to supply large bulk quantities. For the children's market, for year one, we project that we'll sell 12,000 packs at an average of $60 per pack. And this includes 20 serves plus a shaker, and it's $720,000. And for the aged care, in Victoria, there are over 2,000 facilities, and we are taking a conservative approach and distributing to 675 facilities 1 kilo per week. For a year is 35,000 units, and $90 is 3.1 million. Our team has complementary skills. We are two passionate parents disappointed to see products marketed as healthy, full of sugar and other nasties. And now into our ask. We are looking for people with connections in aged care, and we are seeking support from investors with knowledge in food manufacturing, people that share our values most importantly, and are keen to solve the problem of reducing food waste, whilst nourishing our communities. I am Esther from Wowdar. Thank you for being here. Wowdar is good for you and great for the planet.
Hi everyone, so I'm Julian from In Season Juices, and alongside my partner Natalia, we operate at farmers markets in Melbourne. My background prior to beginning In Season Juices was as a manager of farmers markets with Melbourne Farmers Markets. So I've got a very good understanding of the landscape there and what it takes to operate successful stalls. So we make fresh cold pressed juices using seasonal produce sourced from the markets, and we don't operate anywhere else. So we're very niche. As you can see with the juices, we juice to color, and we make it pretty using garnishes. So you can see the cherries on top during summer. Sometimes there might be blood oranges as a garnish, or even some grapes, kiwi fruit. So yeah, we try and make the juices as beautiful as we can. This is very easy when you're at a farmer's market because there's so much interesting produce. You can see here there's not just red beetroots, but there's pink beetroots, there's golden beetroots, and often when you get a beetroot juice, it'll just be red, but I guess this is what sets us apart. We're able to source and use heirloom varieties of produce. We make use of produce of all different shapes and sizes so as to not waste it. As you can see here, there's a double cucumber from Remy's patch, which is pretty cool. Once it's juiced, nobody knows, you know, whether the cucumber was perfect or whether it was perfectly imperfect. This is a red or pinkish juice made with pink beetroot with some kiwi fruit on top as a garnish. And as I alluded to before, we don't really have a menu. We're driven by seasonality, and we use whatever is available at the market that morning. So we're very different to supermarkets who have bottled juices, as well as other juice bars. We have a big emphasis on making sure our product is as good as it can be. And we just think that juice deteriorates pretty rapidly. So when you're getting bottled juice at a supermarket, it's just not the same. It tastes a little bit dead. We like to think our juices are alive. And other juice bars, they may not use a cold pressed juicer. Our vision and mission is to make the best product. We want to support the development of more premium juicing locations, and we see farmers markets as the perfect location for our business because there's already a captive audience who are interested in nutrient dense food, and so we want to support the establishment of more of those markets, and we want to be operating at every farmers market. It just makes sense. So currently we're at Coburg and Alphington, 2 of 33 accredited farmers markets in Victoria. So there's plenty of room for growth. We're on a steady growth trajectory. Last year we began at Coburg Farmers Market every first and third Saturday of each month. This year we have expanded to operate at Alphington Farmers Market every second and fourth Sunday of each month. We're now looking for partners. The idea being that my partner Natalia and I can take over Alphington Farmers Market and operate weekly. Look for a partner to operate Coburg Farmers Market weekly, which will help grow in-season juices, with the goal of getting to 4 markets by 2023. So for our partners, there are immediate opportunities with very minimal startup costs. Under $5,000 can get a new stall up and running. You can earn up to $35,000 per year working 1 day a week, which is pretty lucrative, especially considering the very easy systems and processes in place. So if you'd like to learn more, please get in touch, julianfang4@gmail.com or 0403 914 697. You can also reach out on social media, Instagram or Facebook. Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Monique Santropez, and I am very, very excited to tell you about Honest Feeds. The story of Honest Feeds started off with a series of questions. I found myself sitting at my kitchen table, peeling off oranges and wondering what I could do with the citrus waste left behind. I knew that if I took them to my compost bin at the back of my house, it would take 180 days for them to decompose, and that my worms in my worm farms would be rejecting them. So I wondered, what's the best thing to do with my orange peels? As an environmentalist, I am very, very much aware that if food loss and waste were to be a country, it would be the 3rd highest emitter of CO2 emissions after China in the United States. And I really, really wanted to do something about this. So I decided to put together my earlier problem about the citrus waste and wanting to do something about food waste. So I created Honest Feeds. What is Honest Feeds in a nutshell? Well, it is a startup social enterprise that takes certain types of fruit waste that are difficult to take to compost bins or to worm farms, collects them from food manufacturing businesses, and takes them into a warehouse where they are transformed into agricultural feed supplements using renewable energy. Afterwards, they are packaged and delivered to farmers all over Australia who need food supplements for their agricultural livestock. There's a lot of advantages for Honest Feeds being used by the farmers, but it's not only for the farmers, it's also for food waste producers. Here I show you the full benefits for both farmers and food waste producers. For farmers, there are environmental, financial, and functional benefits. First is reduced greenhouse gas emissions. Currently, we are testing whether the consumption of Honest Feeds by livestock could help them reduce their methane production. Next, financial. We are hoping to offer this product as a very, very affordable alternative feed supplement product for the farmers to help them save during times of drought, most especially. And lastly, functional. There are a number of benefits for this product. Namely, we are hoping to help reduce gastrointestinal diseases in livestock, ensuring that there's certain types of feed available for farmers all year round, especially during times of drought. And anecdotally, they are helping farmers prevent mice from eating their livestock feed. Now, for the food waste producers, we help reduce waste that ends up in landfill, help them save the true cost of waste. And lastly, we help farmers reduce their carbon footprint. Now, this is the roadmap of Honest Feeds. In June 2021, we received the Wattle Fellowship from the University of Melbourne. In October 2021, we joined Rocket Seeder. And currently in March and April, we are testing the methane reduction potential in livestock with the support of the University of Melbourne. We will be running a series of pilot tests from June 2022 all the way through to 2023 with our partner farmers who will be helping us improve our product. And in 2024, if all goes to plan, we are hoping to launch Honest Feeds. So for those of you who are watching this pitch, we would really like to ask you to join us in our journey by asking you if you yourself or if you know any livestock farmers, food waste producers, particularly fruit waste producers, and any specialists in warehouse logistics or in supply chains, please feel welcome to contact me at honestfeeds@protonmail.com. Again, I am Monique Santropez. I am the founder of Honest Feeds, and I am a very passionate environmentalist hoping to combat climate change and advocate for the circular economy. Because at Honest Feeds, we are very, very passionate about saving the planet and our Aussie farmers, one fruit at a time. Thank you so much, and I hope to hear from you.
Australia has a growing crisis with waste management. We have the highest rate of plastic waste per capita in the world. Focusing in on the milk industry, Australia goes through approximately 500 million single-use plastic milk bottles every year. This equates to 21,000 tonnes of plastic. Less than half of the milk bottles are currently recycled, and in many councils, the lids aren't recyclable at all. So how can we make the milk industry more sustainable? The solution is to catalyse a transition away from single-use plastic milk bottles and into reusable kegs for businesses that consume a high volume of milk. The business model to allow for the highest level of scalability and the lowest cost per litre is a keg rental service to conglomerate milk processing sites. The revenue model is to rent kegs out at $5 per keg per month. With this model, Mindful Milk will provide value through managing the complexities of fleet management and variability with geographical demand instability. This will be done by utilising some of the best tracking and software and hardware to map the location and temperature of the kegs. Mindful Milk will also handle repairs and maintenance of the kegs, as well as purchasing and owning the kegs, which are an expensive capital cost. Working with Mindful Milk will open up a new market for milk processors, resulting in more sales. Mindful Milk will also look to actively grow this market through integrating its concept into businesses like McCafe and 7-Eleven. Since Mindful Milk's inception, there has been strong interest in the concept from both ends of the supply chain. Some of the interested businesses on this list have even gone to the extent of providing a letter of support for Mindful Milk's collaborative grant project application that is focused on proving out the concept and will hopefully be awarded later this month. With a variety of retail and supply options, Mindful Milk is proud to have been able to submit the application with 4 other businesses that will best test out this new business model. On the pending grant project with Mindful Milk is Tico's Drive-Thru, Procal Dairies, Circular Economy Victoria, and Australia's leading milk on tap producer. The project will focus on realising standard operating procedures and cost of production associated with kegs flowing through a milk supply chain, which has never been done before. Additionally, emphasis will be applied on making food safety of this innovation as good, if not better, than current practices with milk bottles. Interestingly, Tico's Drive-Thru, who will be providing a quick service restaurant for testing at the retail end, is excited to be on this project primarily because of the added service efficiency that can be provided by milk in kegs used in conjunction with milk on tap systems. Tico's is a chain of 4 restaurants in the western suburbs of Melbourne that caters to predominantly a tradies crowd and is busy with 2 lanes serving coffees from 3:45 a.m. 7 days a week. Also, Tico's go through more milk than a McDonald's restaurant, which is Mindful Milk's target market. At the moment, milk processors are paying 15 cents to purchase 2-litre plastic milk bottles. On top of this, they are having to replace hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of milk crates each year as they're getting lost or stolen. Mindful Milk's vision is to replace these costs with renting kegs, converting the milk industry from a linear to circular economy. At the moment, McDonald's aims for its customers to receive their coffee within 120 seconds of ordering it. McDonald's baristas need to handle each of the milk bottles at least 4 times a day. Having a 50-litre keg hooked up to a tap system will provide a significant efficiency gain as milk is readily available at the touch of a button for a whole day's service. Additionally, there'll be no milk waste as the taps that will be used in conjunction with the kegs will dispense the perfect amount of milk each time. After proving out the concept, Mindful Milk anticipates to capture 2% of Australia's milk industry and have integrated its solution into 30 out of the 80 milk processors in Australia in 5 years. This also equates to 17 million litres of milk being sold in kegs and approximately 350 tonne of single-use plastic being eliminated annually. With these numbers, Mindful Milk anticipates to record a profit of over $900K in its 5th year. Given the capital-intensive nature of the business, there is a lot of investment required for Mindful Milk to grow. After 5 years, Mindful Milk will have invested over $600K in kegs and other assets. Despite this, Mindful Milk anticipates to have a positive cash flow in its 4th year of operation. Lastly, I would really appreciate warm introductions to investors and businesses within your network that you think could help me in my quest to take the plastic out of Australia's milk industry. Thank you.
Can you tell the difference between this and this? If you cannot, this is what will happen to your tomatoes. Millions of dollars worth of food is wasted due to quality disputes. Now, these tomatoes were grown, plucked, stored, packed, and transported. The quality changes all the way. Now, what if you can assess the quality of these tomatoes all along this chain just with your phone? Well, that is exactly what we do. I am Sivam Krish, founder and CEO of Go Micro. The reason why we struggle with quality is because we use industrial methods designed for industrial products to assess natural produce, all of which are different. They are perishable, they are seasonal, and they're complex. Yet, we still use industrial standards, which are completely unsuitable. And we trade billions of worth of food using these unsuitable standards. AI can change this. Now, we have developed a very specific technology that allows us to assess accurately. This is what an AI training sees when it's being trained. It looks at thousands of images and learns from it. But there's a problem. There's background noise, and this background noise confuses the AI engine. On the right are images taken with Go Micro, and you can see there's no background, no noise. So the training is fast. It happens with 50 images, and the accuracies are significantly higher than anything that you can get. We have a patent pending on this technology. We are now using this to assess the freshness of fish. We can do this by just looking at the eye. 50 devices are now being used by Captain Fresh, a major seafood company in India, to assess fish. We can grade tea with it. We are working with a Singaporean company to grade tea. It takes 5 years to train a tea grader. We can assess the moisture content of grain. We are on a research project funded by the Bill Gates Foundation to assess moisture content for Africa with this technology. Our devices are now being used in Kenya and Ivory Coast by UPL to assess a very dangerous pest called the fall armyworm when it's really, really small and you cannot assess it by eye. We have now exceeded human assessment capability with GoMicro. We have a range of devices that can assess from 10 mm to about a meter. And the devices are relatively cheap. Now, additionally, we can allow the creation of customized standards. Buyers and sellers can create their own standards so they can check what's going on and this way eliminate disagreements. Our business is AI as a software service. We charge per click. Now, the clicks cost us about 0.05 to 0.004 cents, and you can see how much we charge for the service. So there's a significant margin in here. Now, currently, we sell quality certificates to sellers, but soon buyers will be using the same device to assess the quality, which then enables us to create quality certificates for online platforms. Now, our customers love this service because they reduce food waste, they eliminate disputes, and of course, there's significant labor saving in using our technology. Our revenue will come from vegetables, seafood, and grain. We are working with a few large companies in Australia right now, beta testing our service for launch. We have quite a few customers now testing our service in India, and there's a very significant demand for phone-based QC. Our team is still small. I'm the founder based in Australia along with my product designer. Kasun is based in Sri Lanka and Amanpreet is heading our operations in India. As you know, food waste is a significant issue and quality disputes are a tax on the agricultural food chain. We are now working with significant players in the food and research industry in agriculture. We have participated in quite a few workshops and incubation programs. We have customers all over the world. We are cash positive. We have a long list of clients wanting our services. We are raising $500,000 US to scale. I hope you'll be part of our journey. Thank you.
Hello all. Hope you all are having a great day. I am Vijish, co-founder of the Connect One Club platform. In Connect One Club, we build digital business networks for farmer groups, which would help them in operations and collaboration. Using the Connect One platform, we solve the problems that farmer groups face when they aggregate their produce and sell them to bigger markets. Farmers and farmer groups face several challenges in sales aggregation, mainly due to lack of aggregation processes, lack of sales channels, and limited access to market demands and wider buyer networks. And another critical issue in farmer groups is food loss at the source level. Farmer groups face issues in managing food waste. It's mainly happening because of the low visibility of food loss and recycling. As a solution, we help farmer communities to coordinate their harvest and sales activities. We provide the Connect One platform as a white label collaboration platform to the farmer groups, where the members in the farmer group can load their harvest details. This harvest info will help to build a digital harvest calendar, which can be shared with the buyers and broadcasted in media and social media. It will help to get a better marketing and sales coverage. This coordinated approach will help farmer groups to save a lot of duplicate efforts and get better gate prices and reduce food wastage at the source level. Our platform comes with a mechanism to quickly upload the harvest details and to showcase the harvest details to public with minimal effort. This medium will work as a social media for farmer groups where they can broadcast their achievements, which is harvest details, and interact and connect with the end buyers. The last mile connectivity is another vital block in the ecosystem. Our platform helps the communities to bridge this gap also. It comes with a lot of powerful capabilities such as marketplace, auction, geo-mapping, quality metrics, traceability, and logistics management. These capabilities will help the farmer groups to understand market demands, connect with other buyers, and build long-term relationships with them. As a case study, we helped a mango farmer group in India to fix the challenges in aggregating their produce and connecting with the end buyers. They were operating in a small local market controlled by the buyers from the local area. Our digital produce platform helped them to aggregate the produce from their member farmers, define the quality of the stocks, and connect with the remote end buyers, which helped them to increase their gate prices and reduce operating costs. In Australia, we did market research with these farming sectors: grapes, livestock, honey, fresh vegetables, mango, apple, pear, and grains. We have identified the same problems exist in these farmer communities as well. They face issues in sales aggregation, building sales channels, and connecting with end buyers. And they face the issues in the base management as well. In few sectors, we progress from market research to sales discussions, and we are in the process to build our platform for a few farmer groups in South Australia and Queensland for grapes and fresh vegetables. We got very good traction since our MMB launch in December 2020. After onboarding 4 farmer groups, we had to hold our sales operations to complete our system upgrades. Our system upgrades are completed now, and we are ramping up our marketing and sales operations with our fine-tuned system. Our main focus is on farmer markets, farmer cooperatives and associations who are trying to collectively increase gate prices for their producers. Our system can be used in a wide variety of agriculture domains. We are planning to launch our platform in India, Australia, New Zealand, and USA, targeting 1,000+ farmer groups. Our average monthly subscription is $1,000 per month. It's a very big and growing market with the farmer groups who are trying to explore new markets to sell their producers. Our MVP launch was in India in December 2020. After completing the system upgrades from MV to scalable model, we are in the process to launch in Australia. After launching in Australia, we have plans to extend to bigger markets such as USA and Europe. Our SaaS-based monthly plans are ranging from $400 to $1,400 based on the number of farmers in a group. Our average pricing is $1,000 per month. And this is our founder team. We all are coming from an agricultural background with a strong experience in technology. Vijish, myself, is working as a CEO and CTO. And Subhish is leading the operations and sales. Jenny is looking after the product delivery. Since our MVP release in December 2020, we had a steady and active roadmap in our journey. We have upgraded our system from MMP version and it's ready to scale up. We are planning to onboard 10 farmer groups by June 2022. And we are actively looking for investors and partners to expand our business. For the investment, we are looking to raise around $300K with a focus on building stronger sales and marketing channels. And that is ConnectOne and our journey so far. We are looking for partners and investors to ramp up our marketing and sales operations. Please reach out to us to know more about our product and to connect with us. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Charles. I'm the founder of Ample. I'd firstly like to start today by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the lands on which I design, grow and present today, the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation. I pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. So I've lived in apartments since I was about 12, and as statistics show, this is a trend that's growing all around Australia. Urban living is great, but it has separated us from nature. And this has come to the detriment of our mind, body and planet. Having plants in our homes is a great way to reconnect with nature. As Daryl Chang from Houseplant Journal says, light is the most important factor in plant growth. You can have all the water and fertilizer in the world. However, if you haven't got adequate lighting conditions, your plants will not thrive. Urban homes really lack the natural light to support healthy plant growth. This is why we founded Ample, a company that aims to supply the tools and resources that enhance our connection to nature. Our goal is to become the market leader in design-led horticultural lighting for domestic spaces. We're here today to talk about our first product, Plant Light number 1. So what's so different about horticultural lighting, and why is it really hard for us to understand? Our eyes have evolved to optimize every environment to be as bright as possible. Plants, on the other hand, are completely different. While to us, the corner of a room furthest away from a window may seem bright enough, to plants, it's just a dark cave. Plant Light number 1 utilizes the 3 fundamentals of horticultural lighting technology to support plant growth. Firstly, you've got the light quality, or the color of the light. Light from the sun is made up of vastly different colors to that of a standard ceiling light. We've developed a broad spectrum LED chip that mimics the colors emitted by the sun. Next, you've got the light intensity, or the brightness of the light. It's no good having the correct color spectrum if there's not enough of it throughout the day, and these needs change as the plant grows. Plant Light number 1 is engineered to deliver the optimum light level based on your plant's maturity, ensuring high photosynthetic efficiency. Finally, you've got the photo period, or the duration the light's on. During the day, a plant's job is to absorb as much light as possible to create energy through photosynthesis. At night, as the plant sleeps, it absorbs this energy and uses it to grow. Our custom control system has an integrated timer to make growing not just simple for you, but also for your plants. While there are a lot of growing systems on the market, most require specialized installation or large designated areas. Some commercially available solutions also generate excess amounts of heat and require constant maintenance. Apartment living is dynamic and space is a premium. Plant Light number 1 is designed to easily integrate into any area of your home. Distance between an artificial light source and the top leaf is also key to a plant's success. A unique adjustable arm means there is room for not just your seedlings, but also larger botanicals. Our prototypes have been growing plants for over a year now. Here you see one of our lights in Jostbakker's Future Food System in Federation Square. The resident chefs are able to use the fresh herbs in all the exciting dishes they create for their guests. Here we have one of our lights installed in a Northcote townhouse. What's great about this, it's not just a beautiful bedside lamp, but the plant is able to purify the air as the occupants sleep. Next, you can see one of our lights in a zero waste cafe called Into Coffee in Collingwood. Currently, there's a large botanical underneath it, beautifying the countertop. However, in the future, we like to transition this to parsley, where the cafe owners can use the parsley in the sandwiches for all the customers. So we're at a point where we're ready to scale up production. However, this involves tooling, minimum order, and certification costs. We're launching Plant Light number 1 through the crowdfunding platform called Kickstarter. We currently have a campaign live. So if this is something that interests you and you'd like to pledge, please scan the QR code on the left. However, if you're not in a position to pledge just yet, but like to follow our journey, please scan the Instagram code on our right. While Plant Light number 1 may be our first product, it certainly isn't our last. We aim to use the capital raised through the Kickstarter campaign to reinvest in research and development. Through your support, we can create more mechanisms that help us enhance our connection with nature. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Elke, a chef, an educator, a culinary innovator, a lifelong ambassador for local produce and ocean wild catch. I co-founded Seaweedery to make a change and to unlock the full potential of the ocean food bowl, bringing health and taste straight from the sea to the table. Australian coastal waters are home of thousands of seaweed species, many of these uniquely Australian. Golden kelp has a long history of being used as wild catch by the First Nation people. The taste is just like the ocean, and the aroma is just reminding me of the sea. As a chef, I've always cooked with local seasonal products, creating great dishes for me in Australia, from the gorgeous green pestos The sweet sorbets, the nice fluffy dumplings are truly my favorite. It's amazing what you can do with such an awesome product from the ocean, as I call ocean greens. I wanted to take my personal learnings and all my experiments and my passion to make a change. So I surrounded myself with like-minded people, and that's where I met Natalie.
Hi, I'm Natalie, the change maker. I'm building the path to our dream of sustainable food system. We looked at the seaweed market opportunity, and the global value of the seaweed market is massive, $21.6 billion. And Australia, the coastal country, contributes less than a fraction of 1%. Seaweed as food is the fastest growing global component of fruit production, with 10% annual growth. And we do eat some seaweed here in Australia. We import $40 million value of the seaweed and 85% of that for human consumption. Our idea is very simple: to develop, manufacture, and put on the market Australian seaweed food products. But there is no credible and reliable local seaweed supply. That's where we are going to fill the gap in food-grade primary processing of local seaweed. We are going to build the local seaweed supply chain. We started at the Seafood for Good Accelerator in 2020, where we ran the successful crowdfunding campaign, raising $50,000 to fund our first batches of the products. We developed the prawn oil made from the discarded prawn shells and the seaweed vinegar. And we put it to the market. And we received amazing feedback. Everyone loves it. And now we are ready to scale up. We're looking for an investor to fund our pilot primary processing facility and the test kitchen to scale up and refine our products. And once we build the foundation for the local seaweed supply, we are going to achieve $1 million turnover in 18 months. And that's just the beginning.
Once we've established the local supply of seaweed, it's endless what we can do with it. From the salt substitutes, the gluten-free breads, the vegan stocks. We can't wait to show you what we're made of. Please join us for our journey. Let us put Australia on a map as a leader in the amazing seaweed. Thank you. Come and join us.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Alex Burnside, co-founder of Food Circle. Have you ever wondered who's growing your food? Why it's traveled thousands of kilometers before you buy it? Or why our farmlands are degrading? Have you ever dreamed of co-owning a food system that is regenerative and sustains you and your family? We have, but before I talk about Food Circle, I need to talk about the status quo. Up to the 1950s, Australia had a thriving network of farmers who were feeding and being supported by Australia's growing cities. 70 years later, we are reliant on a food system that is dominated by companies that mass produce food that is sold through centralized supermarkets. This system is efficient, convenient, profitable, but is extremely wasteful, and comes at a cost to the environment, growers' well-being, and eaters' health. There are more sustainable food systems, for example, farmers markets, local grocers, and community-assisted agriculture. But these options are difficult to access and increasingly unaffordable to start. Land is too expensive, margins are shrinking, and the financial uncertainty is often insurmountable. By removing these barriers, Food Circle offers a radical alternative to Australia's status quo. Our model is supported by technology and enabled by co-ownership, which makes it affordable for growers, our food builders, to live and work on farms, enables households our food subscribers to purchase nutritious, delicious, and sustainable food that is grown, produced, and delivered to them by people they know and trust. It is also restorative of people and place. A food village is co-owned for mutual financial benefit by the food builders and food subscribers. The food builders are responsible for ensuring the food subscribers receive their food subscription, and they are typically 25 to 40-year-olds looking for a change. And the food subscribers purchase food from their food village. Mostly, they are families living in cities. Our model has 3 legal entities that are co-owned by food builders and food subscribers. First of all, the food village, which will be a distributing cooperative that is responsible for sourcing, growing, making, and delivering food. A food village has projected annual revenue of $63 million and earning before income tax of $6.5 million. The second legal structure is Foodlands, which will be an investment fund that is responsible for over $100 million of property and infrastructure that is used exclusively by Food Village. And then, of course, Food Circle, which is responsible for creating food villages and providing their technology platform and managing the IP that we generate collectively. Our research shows that Victoria is perfectly placed to be Australia's first food village, to host Australia's first food village, and has the right mix of potential food builders and food subscribers to be successful. Our immediate focus is to start a food village in Victoria. And once we have succeeded in Victoria, there is a clear pathway to propagate food villages across Australia and beyond. Our timeline. Over the last 24 months, Food Circle has tested the model with landowners and potential food builders and food subscribers. We've secured funding. We've defined our minimal viable product and our go-to-market strategy. I want to talk briefly about the co-founders. It's a big vision, but this is because John and I believe we have to have an alternative to the status quo that is replicable. We have worked together for 12 years and have delivered projects that challenge the status quo. I'm a co-founder and part of the team that delivered the Urban Coop, Australia's first inner urban co-housing development, and will be home to 29 households. My wife and I were moving in May this year. John recently launched Bellarine Urban Farms, which provides an affordable farm and foreshore lifestyle for over 100 multi-generational families on farm-owned land. Food Circle has been established so that we can reclaim and co-own our food system, but we can't do it on our own. We need your help. Do you know anyone who could be a food builder or a food subscriber or both? Do you know anyone who may be interested in investing in our second round of investment? And if you do, please ask them to contact me. Thank you very much.